Yeah, shalom, brothers and sisters, right? This is Mr. Big Rose 11, and I'm gonna take a few minutes of your time about Black History Month. So, as you know about, February is Black History Month, and we talk about the likes of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Black Panthers, and there's just in Harriet Tubman, just to name a few, right? But what you didn't know, there's another piece of history that no one even talked about. So it's talking about Moses and Noah and Christ. So always say that Noah built the ark. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this: Noah and Moses and Christ were black. All right, they weren't white; they were black. They were dark-skinned people from the nation of Israel. So what Moses did what Moses did, that he led the Israelites out of Egypt, slavery. He led the Israelites out of slavery from Egypt. So what's what he did? He parted the Red Sea, and his people, which is the Most High's people, though they went across the dry land for to get away from slavery and get away from slavery in Egypt slavery. Like I said before, Moses led the Israelites out of slavery, right? And Noah, right? He built the ark because the land was full of wickedness. And he built the ark and brought the animals in, pairs of animals, pairs of people. And then what they did, the Most High made it rain and it created a big, huge flood to cleanse out the land. As it says, so that's back in the book. That's in the book of Genesis, right? So and Moses, what he did was he parted the Red Sea. You check it in the book of Exodus. I think it was the 14th chapter, and it says right there is that Moses part of the Red Sea with the big rod though, and he led the Israelites out of slavery over there in Egypt. So they were serving slavery over about 80 years. Well, the Israelites dwelled in the land for 430 years, but they served 80 years of slavery, hard labor. Right now, we go to the book of say I think it was Matthews, I believe, right? It shows you where the Christ was born. And you know what he did? He healed the sick with his hand though. And he had the spirit of the Most High to heal the people. I mean, he helped Mary Magdalene, a prostitute. She repented though. And like I said, Christ was the Son of the Most High. So in order to prove that, and also Christ is black. In order to prove that, you get to Revelations 1 and 1 shows you that John saw the vision of Christ, right? And he saw the revelation of Christ. And we're in the book of Revelations 1 and 1, it says John's revelation. It says the revelation of Christ, right? And John, revelation means the revealing. And we go to Revelations 1 and 13, go to show you that Christ's head and his hairs were white like wool, right? Christ had woolly hair, and then his eyes was like a flame of fire. I mean, because Christ had red eyes, because he was mourning about the 12 tribes, and he drank wine. And also says that his feet was like a defined brass as it would burn in a furnace. Goes to show you the color of brass is brown. So it goes to show you that Christ is a dark skinned man. That's a piece of black history that no one ever talked about. Especially in the schools though. They don't tell you about Noah or Moses or Christ. They were so-called black men. And the reason why I think they never they never mentioned that in schools because you know why? Because this whole country made it that way, trying to cover up our history and cover up our identity. That was their main purpose. As you said, the Book of Psalms, they want us forget about our heritage and our history and all that stuff. So it's like but I'm gonna tell you this though, we're gonna bring it out. Most are gonna bring it out though. That's a piece of black history right there, right? So all I'm saying is, and oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, there are certain so-called black people though they invented a lot of things, but they never taken any credit. Like we have the example, we got this brother, he made peanut butter, right? And he never got credit. And we have another brother, I forgot his name. He invented the traffic lights, but he never got credit. And there was another brother who created electricity, but he never got credit though. I mean, there was this guy named Edison, Thomas Edison, right? He stole that. He stole that electricity invention from a black man, and he made his own. So and he named the company Con Edison because Thomas, no, excuse me, not Thomas Edison is nothing but a con. He's a fraud. And like I said before, in some of these certain black men, they invented a face, but we never take any credit. Because why? Because we curse. And and these white folks, they hate us. They have perpetual hatred. Look into Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, the 5th verse, says that the Most High has a perpetual hatred. Because we're nothing to the white man. But the Most High knows that we something, though. And also, when the so-called white man Esau has a perpetual hatred, I mean, we're getting shot and killed by the cops every day. White cops being harassed and killed by the white cops. So it ain't gonna be because in the future, no, those so-called Gentiles are enemies. Though they're gonna get what's coming to them. Most High's gonna get that. Most guy has his word though. He's gonna get his revenge, payback. Like I said, I mean, we want to invent everything, created everything, and all that stuff. But we're cursed because we never take it credit because we cursed and we sin against the Most High. So we got this damn cracker taking the credit. These white people are evil. So, like I was saying before, though, that's a piece of back history that no one ever talk about, though. It's hidden. So, all I'm saying is just wake up, read the Bible, read the scriptures, check out your history. Shalom.